Okay, so I went to the hardware store and I got some screws that I can put in here. They're not perfectly tight. These are 440s, and I had to tap out to make the threads better. But they won't pull out. Those other screws would pull out. And then I've been having a lot of problems with this here build. So my piezo, my large piezo busted loose from the thing when I was moving everything around. So I had to resolder all that back on there, put it back together. So now I'm gonna mount it to my box face. So I got the two pieces in there to make it thicker for these long shafts, right? I need to quit saying right all the time. And then I had to drill my holes for my strings to go through because I'm gonna use a hard bridge on this one, and then I also have to have a little spacer to put in there to raise the bridge up to get up over my neck here so I can adjust the action on that. These little pieces that come with some of your boxes come with little pieces of wood in them, so I save all those and I can cut these out and make little spacers to put behind the hard bridge. Let me show you what. So the hard bridge is like this here. I took the little assembly off so I could mark the holes to go through. Right? Whoops, did it again. So these holes line up with these three holes here. And because this brick house is so thick, while I was at the hardware store, I picked up a longer 1/8" bit. So I could drill all the way through one shot on my drill press. Well, my drill press is not very big, so it doesn't. So I had to move the base up and down to get it all the way through, but I got it through, and I got my little ferrules in there, right? Now, it didn't quite line up, but everything is going through, so I taped the neck onto my front cover there. So when I drilled it, I knew I was going to be lined up all the way through. Okay, now I'm going to take this off, and then I'm going to mount the hardware on there, put the pickups on, right, and hot glue everything down, make it look neat. And that's what we're going to be working on today. All right. Okay, so here's my neck. See, I've notched out for that single coil in the back here. I've got the little bit chiseled out here so it'll allow the top to do its little resonance, right? So we get a little sound off of that. I'm gonna put that big giant piezo right here, and the single coil in the back here. And then what I do is I glue these little pieces on here, because as you can see, the bridge, this hard bridge, is a little bigger than my neck, since I'm only using 1.5 inches. So I want to be able to mount that to it and be able to hit some wood on there. So I made that so that it fits in there, right? It's tighter than a bug right there. And you can see daylight through there. Oh, yeah. So I tell them grandkids I check their ears every once in a while, make sure you can't see daylight all the way through. Alright, so there we go. The neck is ready. Well, it's not ready, but it's getting there. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the hole in so I can mount this. That's a real tight fit, so that's good. That's what I want. So I know exactly where everything is. Take my awl. Usually I take my awl and just stick it in there. Alright, that one looks good. That one looks good. Everything's centered up. Now I can drill me a hole. Let me see what these are. Let me get the drill. I think I can use an 1/8" bit here. Yeah, that'll do it. Check your size. Yeah, that'll be perfect. It'll be just tight enough. All right. So put that on there. Got my little file here. Peel back some of that paper. I want this surface to be a little flat because them springs are going to rest up against it. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off here. I'm going to pull this piece of tape off, so I want to go ahead and drill this hole here and this one here. I don't want to make it too big at this point, so I'm going to use a smaller bit and just make a hole, a pilot hole. So I don't lose them marks for that hard bridge. Let me get my awl. Could just leave that awl. Yeah, I'll leave just leave these marks. I think that'll work. I can pull that off without drilling a hole. That way if I'm a little off, I can fix it. Alright, let me get a black Sharpie here. Okay, so now that's all. Makes it less visible when you get done. Now on the final go around before I put the strings on, I'll tape off the parts that need to be taped off, and I'll hit it with another coat of lacquer real quick, just to make it shiny and to cover up some of the scuff marks I put in the box. Alright. Every once in a while, no matter how many times you do this, you always scuff them up just a little bit. So, and I found that if I cover up the scuffs while I'm going along, then at the end I can put a little, just spray it down real good one last time. Make it shine up again. Alright, so let's get this baby mounted. So I'm gonna use the brass screws on this one. Maybe not. Maybe I think I'm gonna use this stainless steel because well, this box doesn't have any silver in it, does it? Neither one of these boxes have silver. I'm glad I got enough brass. So, that'll look a little better, I think. Alright? So we'll see what happens. So I want this coming out the back because I put my notch in the neck for that one. So now is when I gotta get the springs out. Alright, so we'll put the springs in with the fat side down. That'll help steady the box. They'll pick up a little bit this way. Get them screws in there. Now, how's that look? That looks pretty good. It's straight, and because the hole is tight, it doesn't have much wiggle there, which I like. I don't want it wiggling all over the place. That looks good. I think that's gonna work. So everything's gonna be down towards the back here. That's gonna go underneath the bridge. I have to drill a hole and put that through. This baby I'm gonna mount right here with some hot glue. Like that there. All right, let me get my hot glue fired up so I can do this, okay? Okay, so I've got everything mounted on the front here. So I've got my single coil pickup, my volume and my tone, and my ground wire. It's gonna go to my hard bridge. All right, and then I got my piezo on the front up here. I had to pull a little bit of that hot glue out of the front here because it was pressing against the box when I did my test run on my neck mounting. But now everything is tight and good. So next step will be to put it together. Then I can, I gotta finish sanding my neck off and getting it all shaped in right. But this part is done. All right, that's how you mount this piezo on here. I mean, this is the piezo. That's how I'm gonna mount this one on this box, and then these single coil here. I had to buy new screws and tap the hole a little bit so I could use the spring mount that came with it. Thank you. So I could use the spring mount. There it is.